Hello Cancer, welcome to your reading. My name is Maria and this is a tarot intuitive story for you if you have Cancer anywhere in your chart, or if you're drawn to this video for some other reason, then surely you were directed here. And so if it resonates by the time you find it, then that was the perfect time for you to find it. It's timeless and general, so you can swap around genders and all of that. And yes, we should just jump right into it, even though we start out with an incredibly slow energy in your reading today. The first card of the reading is the snail. And this doesn't come out as you, it comes out as a circumstance in your life, an area of your life, something that has been very slow moving. And it just seems like slow and sticky. You know, it might have been a sticky situation that's been a little hard to move or gain any momentum in. And this came out clarified by the Lovers. And this card, when it came out, it just came out with so much power. It was like my heart skipped a beat. It was really like, this is the Lovers with capital L. This was really it just came out like such a powerful card, like the card that wanted to say, this is what it's about. It's about love. And it's you have, I think, a backstory of not feeling like you were able to get close to the kind of love you really wanted. So I see you here, you come out with the Outsider and the Lovers, and I see you kind of standing at the gates and looking at it and not really ever being let in. And I'm not completely sure whether this has to do with a particular other person or it just has to do with, also looks a little bit to me like relationships, like maybe you've seen all of your friends get hitched and, you know, it working out great for them, and you're kind of the one who's left behind and you're a little like, okay, yeah, but why? And or it could be your own heart. You could have had trouble sort of getting in touch with your own heart, which of course is a little bit of a weird thing to say to a Cancer because you're so emotional, but there could have still been something that made it difficult for you to reach the at least to open the door into the place where the door needed to be open in order for you to have a deep and meaningful and positive intimate relationship with somebody else. But either way, you felt kind of shut out from some kind of love in your life, and that comes out clarified. I've only seen this once ever before by the Lovers. So the two tarot decks we have on the table, the Zen Tarot and the Muse Tarot, both came out with the Lovers. The Lovers clarified by the Lovers. Quite astounding, very, very powerful energy, and just underlining the first feeling I had that this is really something big, and it is what it's about, this reading. So what I feel like you have done, the process that you've been in, is that you've actually been cultivating love inside of you, cultivating love in your life, and practicing self-love. Because you come out with this one and the Page of Inspiration, and these two cards look incredibly alike, just the colors and the dynamics. And so it looks to me like you've been in a process where you were like, okay, well, if I'm shut out of this for some time or for now, I'm gonna do my best to cultivate love in other ways and to be love, to become love, which is just such high level of wisdom. It's quite impressive and incredible, and yeah, it's just really, really high vibe. So you've been sort of creating love within you, and you've been becoming love. And that's how you've been spending your time. So you might have been looking at other people getting hitched and married and, you know, doing the whole relationship thing. But as it turns out, your life journey until now has been a little more mystical. It's been more of an inner process, and you've been doing some other things, and I'm not completely sure if you've been doing it you know, freely and willingly, if this was how you wanted to do it, or if it was kind of like a plan B because this was not working. But either way, it doesn't look like you're going about it in a plan B way. It looks like you're really doing it, and you're being very creative with your life and yourself, and with, in terms of creating love in your life and in yourself. So for that reason, you start moving forward into sort of a more, I guess, soft you, because you've been practicing all of this self love, and it's been very healing. And you might be here in this part of the process where it has been creating healing. It looks to me like kind of like the healing that is happening by itself, so to say. You've done something great. You've gone about life and your inner life and your outer life in some very, very high quality way, in a very creative and loving way, and it's like it's created a healing, and now that healing is happening by itself, right? You're not any longer doing the healing as such. That it's just the energy has taken over and is kind of like regenerating you. And so you're at this point, if you're here in the story, you're starting to look for a new vision. You're starting to look for something to invest your energy in. And you might have reached a point in life where you're like, okay, I'm not gonna chase this. I'm not chasing this. I'm not staying here banging at this door anymore. And if you had some sorrow and all of that about it, you've fixed that. It's fixed, you've done it. You've decided to do something else. And so that's where you are. You're in a space where you're like, okay, so I'm gonna find out what I would like to invest my energy in. A lot of healing has been taking place, and it's kind of like the rest of the healing that needs to happen is kind of like just happening by itself. So you're starting to contemplate a new beginning, somewhere new where you would like to invest your energy. And these two cards, the new vision and the healing, they come out clarified by the Magician and the Two of Voices. So this is telling you that this healing is actually, at this point, is bringing you to an incredible level of inner empowerment and outer empowerment, actually also, of creational magic, of spiritual connection. It's just, I don't even know if I can find the words to describe this. This is just very, very, very high level creational, power, magic. It's just, that's happening. That's what's happening. You're becoming this. And maybe you're feeling this. You're feeling like, oh, I should actually start investing my energy somewhere, because you can feel the momentum building inside of you. You can feel the energy starting to move, and I think you're beginning to have this sense like, oh, okay, yeah, I could start something now, and that could turn out to be very successful. So it's really just a question of finding out what. So you're looking for that thing to invest yourself in, and it doesn't have to be necessarily sort of your livelihood or anything like that. It could very well be, but it could also be like a hobby, or maybe you want to have more fun in your life. You want to figure out how should I have more fun? Like, what should I do? Where should I go? What kind of you know, I think you want some dynamic, happy movement, and that's the thing that you're looking for. But you're not finding it very easy to seek out that thing or to figure out what, because kind of like, oh, this, that, the other, and it's like all the time, like, no, not really, like, oh yeah. So you're kind of like in a space of indecision, you know. And I think you might be a little surprised by that, because you were kind of like ready to invest your energy, but then you have this little moment in time where it's like, oh, okay, but can't I find something to invest my energy in? That should be possible. So you just might have a little bit of, could just be a very short while where you're a little indecisive and maybe a little confused at that situation. But out of the blue, that's almost how it looks to me, something arrives. Something arrives, and it's just like, it just looks like to me like it, something happens really fast. Like one day you're not knowing what you want at all, and then the next day you're in the middle of something that you really want. It's kind of like that. This comes out yeah, as a just some kind of new arrival, something that was not at all on your bingo card, something that, oh, that thing, like that environment, that and it's the reason why it's surprising, and the reason why it's kind of showing up out of nowhere, is because you never thought about this ever before. I think it's kind of a little bit like that. You might have thought, well ever before, but it is a little bit like, oh, okay, I really didn't see myself starting, you know, doing line dance, or whoever thought I would suddenly, you know, be standing in a river doing fly fishing, or it just looks like you're a little taken aback at how powerful, how colorful, how enticing this is, just suddenly, this thing that you had not considered. It, you know, you were kind of like looking, maybe if you just see the difference between these two cards, you were looking in another kind of way or another kind of environment or space, and then this arrives and it's just incredibly vibrant. And so, and this doesn't point me back to the lovers. This doesn't look like a person yet. Wait for it. It looks like an environment or a passion or something that ignites you, a new vision. And that new vision is just arriving with such powerful energies, just incredibly powerful energies. Just the transformation card and the completion card, which are just two cards of just taking you from one realm to another, more or less, like changing planets almost, or becoming a whole new person. And what's great about it is that you are kind of at the rear end of the healing. The last part of the healing is kind of happening by itself. And then it's like you start this new thing, or this new passion ignites you. And it's like, that's actually the completing thing. I find that to be so beautiful, that it turns out you don't have to kind of end the cycle or the thing that you're in, because you can just start the new, and the new will be so powerful, it'll kind of end the form of the thing that was before. It's just gonna complete it. It's just gonna create an ending somewhere where you're very happy to see an ending. And it's gonna transform you into something new and stunning. So this thing that you kind of just got a sudden idea, or you were invited to something you didn't know you would like at all, or you know, it looks to me like it's gonna happen very organically, like suddenly, and it is turning out to be something that's probably fated, just because these energies are so big. It's just this is the universe moving you and doing something to you. And you then come out with these two, with the Hanged Muse and the Three of Materials, like very sunny energies, right? It's just this new thing that's coming out is incredibly vibrant and colorful, and it's just turning your life into technicoloring again. And this looks like you just almost like a fish in water. It's like you just you just find yourself at home in this scenario or whatever it is, and I feel like you'll discover that you have skills that you didn't even know you had, or suddenly they're coming into play in a way that's like very new and brings you into a lot of flow states and very enjoyable to you. You look very, you look like you feel very safe there, like you're just very trusting, and just like it's very, very enjoyable, and it's putting you into play in a very sort of full body kind of way, or full, just whatever it is. It's just, you know, all of you into play in a really great and satisfying way. And I was also struck by the fact that it comes out as that is the ram that comes out, which is an Aries energy. So it's a very fiery initiative energy, and that Aries has belongs in the same category as Cancer in the sense that it's a cardinal sign. You're both cardinal signs, meaning you can take something on, like an incredibly big project, something that goes from 0 to a zillion, and actually do it. Like you have the stamina for that. And I feel that it was kind of coming out with that energy, like you're gonna start something that just has such an incredible potential for just, you can go a very long way with this. You can really expand, you can really evolve, you can really be in this energy of transformation and learning for a very long time. And I think you're gonna love it, because you'll be like a fish in water. And it also came out with the Three of Materials, which looks to me like building a community. So you'll be getting new friends, you'll be making new acquaintances, you'll be building community with somebody. It just looks like me. It starts out with or maybe this could also be an energy that's introducing you to new friends, or there are just other people who like what you do or who are doing the same things, and then you'll get to know them. And it looks like okay, so you start out with the first three, and then it just looks like you can build infinitely. Like there's just gonna be such a big potential for a big community and many new friends, and it also looks to me, well, sunny, but also rosy, right? Just looks very, very lovely. And then somebody sees you. You're kind of stepping into this. You're starting to embody this energy of like initiative and waking up to some passion. And this one sees you because you started shining. This made you shine. You're starting to show up as this sunny being. So you're being seen by somebody, by the king of the savannah. You catch their eye, and they're like, how are you doing? But I mean, it doesn't come out necessarily as a flirt or as a love thing or a romance thing at first, or I don't know exactly how it's gonna pan out, but this one comes out, is very interested in you and sees your potential, sees you actually as an equal power, as someone of equal stamina and equal power, although maybe of course seeing you a little bit more as a beginner in a way, because they're very evolved in this new arena that you've been stepping into. They're very high level. And maybe it makes sense to you that these kind of mirror each other. You know, this was your energy, like really in the beginning transformation of learning, and they have been through a lot of that, and they're still learning, but they've created a lot of abundance in that area already. So it looks to me, and these two also kind of mirror each other, right? Because you're just getting this new vision or skill or knowledge, and this one already has it, right? So there, that lion comes out with an energy of already being very skilled at this thing that you're just discovering and having a lot of passion about. And I think that they might step in as sort of a mentor. Either that, or it could be something that develops very romantically from the beginning, but it does seem a little bit like they see you, maybe not necessarily completely with those intentions at first. I just think that they recognize you as a peer and sees your energy, and so they show up, and they have a lot to teach you. You know, not as they're coming in like a teacher as such, but they do come out a little bit as a mentor, because they also come out with the Emperor, somebody who can show you the ropes or show you how to get even more into flow states, or who just have already been developing some skills that you're just being introduced to now. So they're kind of like, they're just very masterful and already sort of in a dance with what it is that they do. And they also, because this down here looks to me like it's mirroring this, so they have already a community. They already know everybody, something like that. So they're kind of like, and they're the man, they're the boss, the woman, the person, like they because it's the lion also, right? It's somebody who is somebody in that community or in that arena. But then it changes from them dancing alone, showing you maybe the ropes, like or beginning to communicate with you, maybe mentor you a little bit. And here suddenly two people are dancing, like synchronistically, is that the word? Sort of moving in the same vibration. And so it looks to me like cooperation. Maybe you start doing this thing, whatever this passion is that you're doing, you start doing that together, or you start like really inspiring each other. It just looks like it's gonna be a lot of energy of inspiration and great conversations and very equal, right? Because this is no longer them being necessarily your mentor. It's gonna shift, and you'll be completely equal, and it won't be like necessarily in the same ways, but you'll be very, very good at complementing each other. And so it looks to me like sort of like a partnership that is well, we came out with a lot of love, right? With a love that was like, it's just really, really intense. So I'm assuming that this is going to turn into a love relationship, but it's not exactly the energy that it's not what this card is talking about. This is the card that's ending with the reading. This card is talking about partnership, which I think would be a kind of a great foundation for this to arrive, right? For it to develop into lovers, because, you know, it's still the two. So so what I'm feeling is that probably love is going to be involved. Would be kind of weird if it isn't, because that was what the reading was about from the beginning. But it's to say that it's more than that. It's not just a relationship. It's something like really inspiring, really uplifting. You both have a passion that you share, and where you can really lift each other. So so yeah, so it's really beautiful and very energetic, and it's kind of like sort of a little bit like winning in the lottery, right? Because it's passion, it's something that ignites you, it's a project, but then it's also this. So yeah, so this was your reading, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for being here. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and comment, and come back again soon. See you.